Hello everybody, it's the Fat Boy and now we're back to a new circuit in this series for My Team Career Mode. We're here in Shanghai for the Chinese Grand Prix. We are playing at 97 AI difficulty. Usually I play like around 100 AI on average, but obviously this track is new, so I'll be a bit rusty in a few corners here and there. But before we get to anywhere, be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. I do F1 content 1 to 2 times a week. So do stay tuned for any more content in the future as you now head towards our first lap. This time I'm gonna show you like around turn 1. As you can see here, I'm not sure what's going on turn 1. As you can see, there are a few cars slowed down. That's Daniel Ticktum. And it's yellow flag, so I have to abort my lap as well. So I'm obviously in qualifying. I think there's a rule where if there's a yellow flag in a certain sector, and if you're in that same sector, you have to slow down. So obviously we had to slow down there because we have to abide the rule. We have to abide by the rules. And Gasly, I think, was on the flying lap as well. So this time, this is actually our first official lap heading into the hairpin here. And this time, I don't know what Ocon is doing, but he took us out, Verstappen style, like how Verstappen took out Sebastian Vettel at the same corner in 2018, if I am not wrong. So Q1 session not doing we're not doing too well. I'm not sure why the AI is going berserk over here, but obviously we're gonna have to box and go for new tires and just wait until the track is clear. So now here's our golden opportunity, now heading into the hairpin, braking at around 100 meters, taking a bit of curb there. I rather skip the curb there. I rather not take the exit curb so that it doesn't mess up the traction on the exit. As you can see, we're heading down the final corner. DRS open is going to be a 1 minute 30.153, and we are 3.5 tenths off of Guan Yu Zhou. And looking at Q1, are we out or we're not out? Ooh, ooh, look at that. 1 to 1.5 tenths of elimination from Q1. So thankfully we managed to set one lap, which is quite a bit of a close shave in only the first qualifying session. So you can see how weak and rusty we are compared to Carlos Sainz and our rival Lewis Hamilton. So eventually we're gonna have to get to grips with every single corner on the track. So that's all we have to do if we want to have any chance of getting in the top 10. So now head towards our second lap. I have no idea what Lance Stroll is doing, but he just slowed down at the exit there. So this is the second time, no, the third time where I actually ran into a driver when it's actually their fault. So I just knocked him out there because I didn't really care about the Aston Martin or so. So now heading into the final corner, DRS open. It's going to be 1 minute 30.334. We are just below 2 tenths slower than Yuki Tsunoda, which means that we're not in a very good position, obviously. So as we now head towards our final lap of Q2, I think we head towards the exit. We do screw up a bit there. We lose a few hundredths of a second as we now head towards the final corner. Quite a good apex, a fair exit as we now just below 9.5 tenths quicker than our previous lap. And that puts us up into P10. 2 to 2.5 tenths off of Guan Yu, 2 to 2.5 tenths ahead of Guan Yu Zhou there. So as you can see, again shows how bad and slow we are compared to Carlos Sainz. And I think the AI usually are slower in Q2. I'm not so sure why, but I think that's just my hypothesis. But either way, we're still in the top 10, so we have to make this lap count if you want to have any chance of getting a podium, like how we did in Bahrain in the previous race. So now this will be our one and only push lap here in Q3. As you can see, DRS open, power down all the way down the straight. We're gonna have to trail brake quite a lot heading into turn 1 because it's a prolonged corner. So I think anti-roll bars have to be quite stiff because soft anti-roll bars won't do good in prolonged corners if I am not wrong. As you can see, we do take quite a tight line heading out of turn 3, I think this is. Now we're just gonna go flat out and trying to spot the next braking zone heading into turn 5, I think. Braking at around 100 meters, taking quite a lot of curb. I do not take as much curb and I do not go onto the AstroTurf as well because I want to maximize traction. As you can see, heading into these prolonged corners, I think this is where stiff anti-roll bars come into play, especially this one as well. Now trying to break into the double left-hander, we missed the first apex. We go a bit wide, but I think we managed to carry a bit more speed. So I think we made up some time there at the exit. Now trying to break around 80 meters heading into this uphill left corner. Oh, we messed up the lap and I think we don't have time for another one, so we are out, I guess.
We're all ready for tomorrow's race, but before we begin, let's have a quick look at those who will be fronting the grid. Perez, Verstappen and Daniel Ricciardo. With qualifying complete, all that remains is the main event. We'll be live and uninterrupted for the Grand Prix tomorrow, so make sure you join us then.
Now Sergio Perez setting pole, Verstappen in the other dominant Red Bull in second, and Daniel Ricciardo is actually up to third. So I think he's found some form here, and he might get a podium for McLaren. So, looking at us, we are starting in 10th, Lando Norris in 9th, Carlos Sainz in 8th. Hopefully, we can get a top 5 finish like how we always do, and we'll just see what we can do in the race. So I'll see you in the 5 red lights, and just stay tuned for the intro.
The Chinese Grand Prix then is upon us once more, a race that saw Michael Schumacher claim his final Formula One victory in 2006, as well as Red Bull's first with Sebastian Vettel in 2009. There's no doubt we've got plenty more drama to come here in Shanghai. Shanghai International Circuit then, a 16-corner high-speed thrill ride. The long and ever-tightening right-hander at turns 1 and 2 tests a driver's patience, and the flat, open to the elements location, tests their skill in a crosswind. 2 DRS zones will assist passing, and overtaking is available into turn 1, and of course down the kilometre-long back straight into the hairpin at turn 14. And as always, off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's race. It's Sergio Perez on pole position today, edging out Max Verstappen, who'll start from P2. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Ricciardo, Leclerc, Valtteri Bottas and Hamilton, Gasly, Sainz, Norris and the Black Mamba, Joe, Russell, Yuki Tsunoda and Ocon, Aitken, Giovinazzi, Robert Schwartzman and Daniel Ticktum, Latifi, Stroll, Mick Schumacher and Nikita Mazepin. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
And here we are for the first ever Chinese Grand Prix in this My Team Career Mode series. As now we're gonna go straight to the 5 red lights for the Chinese Grand Prix. It's gonna be lights out and away we go anytime soon. And it's lights out and away we go. The 2 Red Bulls getting away well. Carlos Sainz getting a better start than me. We're already down to 9th place here. In fact, we're already up to 9th place. I think someone got a penalty as now. I think we are side by side with George Russell heading into turn 1. This is where the stiff anti-roll come into play. And we're going to go 4 wide with Carlos Sainz, Lewis Hamilton and Pierre Gasly out of the exit of turn 2 heading to turn 3. We are ahead of the 3 cars for now. As you can see, we're side by side with the Ferrari power unit. As now we're going to go for a huge send down the inside heading into what I think is turn 5 there. And that puts us up to P6. Sergio Perez leading the race quite strongly there. Verstappen in second, with Ricciardo still standing strong in third. So I have no idea where he got his incredible form back, but if he keeps this up, he will be a championship contender. And it will be much better for him if McLaren were to put more effort in the R&D charts, obviously. So anyway, here heading into this uphill left-hander, we do go a bit wide there. Pierre Gasly was side by side with us for a split second. Now trying to get a very good exit heading down the straight. Pierre Gasly is 5/10 behind me as of now. Carlos Sainz in P8. Lewis Hamilton is down into P9. So not a good position for the Mercedes. As now we head into the hairpin of turn 14 or turn 15, I believe this is. As now we are trying to head towards the final corner, and now we are heading into the second lap. As you can see here, we're still in P6, but I don't think there will be any overtaking action so far. As now we're gonna head down towards the main straight. Pierre Gasly using the slipstream, but he will be suffering from the dirty air heading into this prolonged corner of turn 1. And I think this is turn 2 as well. And that left-hander right there is turn 3. It should be turn 3. And as you can see, the home favorite, Guan Yu Zhou, or Zhou Guan Yu, I don't know which order is it. He's down in P12. As now we fast forward all the way towards the end of sector 2, now towards the start of sector 3. In lap 3 we are just about 4 times slower, so you can see how much the soft tires are falling off, and you can also see how slow I am in the corners, as we're already just below 2 seconds behind Valtteri Bottas. As you can see, Pierre Gasly is going to have a good launch of the exit, and he's going to use the slipstream and the DRS. Look how much overspeed he has. So unfortunately we just have to let him through heading into the braking zone of this hairpin here. So we just have to stay in the slipstream and the DRS. And hold on, Jeff has something to say here.
Okay, there appears to be an issue. We're currently investigating.
Oh god, we have hopefully not a power unit issue, maybe some sort of fuel issue, or maybe a ERS issue. I'm not so sure. That's all I hope, because I do not want an engine blowout in our first Chinese Grand Prix. And I think Jeff has more to say as well.
It looks like we're experiencing an ERS software glitch. The issue seems to be fixed, but we will keep monitoring it our end.
And actually, the problem is our ERS, and our ERS is now stuck open. So at this point I was spamming the overtake button to see if there are any changes, but I don't think we can do anything. I think we're just gonna have to deal with the ERS software glitch. And I think at this point of time, as I headed into the pit lane, I think the ERS software glitch has been fixed by itself. So really, reliability has been a huge issue for us. We have to start focusing on durability this season. If not, we're gonna keep getting more engine penalties and all that, which will hinder our chances of high points finishes. As now here we are into the pit stops. Daniel Ricciardo right behind us, Charles Leclerc right behind us as well. As here we are for our pit stop, quite a fairly slow pit stop as well onto the mediums. Lewis Hamilton and Esteban Ocon is right behind us, or should I say Lando Norris. Lando Norris is right behind us, taking last place, and now heading into turn 2. The Mercedes follows us, and the Alpine is stuck at last for now. And looking at Daniel Ricciardo, if he keeps up this pace, he should be still on the podium positions. And I think the two Red Bulls are still dominating quite comfortably. So as you can see here, we fast forward towards the end of lap 5. This is where the second round of pit stops come into play. As now here's Max Verstappen heading into the pits. There's Valtteri Bottas, Pierre Gasly, there's our teammate Carlos Sainz. Russell stays out. Guan Yu Zhou goes into the pit entry, and Ocon pits. Aitken stays out. Schwartzman stays out. Tsunoda stays out. I mean, if Tsunoda goes in, Ticktum stays out, and a couple of other drivers as well. So as you can see, heading out the hairpin, we're still keeping Hamilton at bay. So we're doing quite a good job with our pace, even though Hamilton has DRS. But we got quite a horrible exit. Now we are gonna go side by side with my idol for 12 to 11 to 12 years, as now we head into turn 1. Carlos Sainz might get into the mix, but we just managed to go past him just in time before hitting the apex there. As now you can see, Hamilton is right in front of us. He made the move heading into turn 1, and he just had to yield. And now we are we are currently just fighting for position here, and Pierre Gasly is in P11 as of now, in front of Hamilton and in front of me. So as you can see here, we're gonna suffer quite a lot of dirty air into the prolonged corners, and the anti-roll bars won't do anything good at all, as we do go a bit wide, I believe. No, actually we don't. We had to lift off a bit more because of the dirty air problems. So as you can see here, heading into this double left-hander, trying to get the power down as soon as possible, trying not to go wide, staying on track limits. We do go off the track limits by quite a bit there, as now heading into this uphill left-hander. This is, I think this is negative camber if I'm not wrong. Now heading towards the main straight, trying to get a good exit out of this corner here. We're gonna have DRS, I think, just about, because I think we were just below a second at the detection line. And we do have DRS, to be fair. And Carlos Sainz, I have no idea why he's on the hards. I'm not sure what's wrong with the strategies this race. As you can see, Hamilton having a bit of a battle with Pierre Gasly as well. And Gasly's on the hards as well, I have to add. As you can see here, now everyone is in the pits. The rest of the drivers are in the pits. The third round of pit stops here. We should be back up to P7, P6. I'm not so sure. No, we are P8 as of now. So all we have to do is just fight Hamilton and get past him as soon as possible while he's getting held up by Pierre Gasly. And here's our teammate now heading into turn 3. And now we fast forward all the way towards the end of the first sector in lap 8. We're still unable to make any moves on Lewis Hamilton. As you can see, we lost a lot of time there, 1 to 2 tenths of a second, I might add. And I think it's just because of the dirty air, and the dirty air, I think, is just a huge red flag, especially in the prolonged corners such as turn 1. But either way, we're still right behind Hamilton, as now we're gonna head into the braking zone, trying to turn in as late as possible to focus on exit speed, so that we don't have to we don't have to apply as much steering lock. into these next few corners. As you can see here, Zhou Guanyu is still stuck in P12, struggling to get into the points as of now. And Gasly does not have DRS. Hamilton has DRS. I have DRS. Gasly is a sitting duck, but I don't think Hamilton has the road to overtake him. As now we're going to go for a lunge down the inside. We almost hit Pierre Gasly there and actually get quite a bit of a moment on the exit. And we managed to get past Hamilton before the braking zone of the final corner, and that's 7th place for us. And Carlos Sainz is still in 9th, but he should be catching up anytime soon. But he is on the hard compound tires, so he is at a disadvantage here compared to the Mercedes. As you can see here, we're still trying to find a way to get a good exit out of the final corner, taking quite a late apex. But I think it's just because of the dirty air. We have to be a bit more gentle with the throttle application, and we did lose like 1 to 2 tenths of a second of the exit, and we are 72 1,000ths of a second slower in the first sector. So I think it's just because of the dirty air, which keeps giving me red sectors obviously. So as you can see here, heading into this long left-hander, you can see how much time we lost to the Frenchman. But we shouldn't worry that much because we still have DRS on Pierre. So oh my goodness, we go off the track there, and I think, oh my goodness, oh what kind of we joined the track quite dangerously there, and obviously Hamilton's a bit startled as he does go a bit wide there. Tried going for the cutback, but obviously it wasn't going to work. So all we had to do is just focus on exit speed. But I think that was an unsafe rejoin to the track when I went off there. I think it's because of oversteer or wheel spin. I think it was just oversteer. So now we have DRS. Hamilton has DRS. He's now back to square one once again. We have 4 to 5 laps to get past Hamilton and Pierre Gasly as we do go wide at the hairpin there. I think we had quite a bit of understeer. As we now head towards the final corner, I don't think we were able to make moves until lap 10. Yes, now we head into the braking zone. We're going to go for a late move down the inside. And we managed to go side by side with Hamilton here. We bang wheels there. And it depends who crosses the detection line first, because we are both above a second behind Pierre Gasly. So who's going to get DRS? Well, in fact, we do get DRS there before the transition. It's now towards lap 11 here. Still behind Pierre Gasly, trying to get a good exit here. Using our DRS, probably a bit of our ERS. As now we are trying to go past Pierre, but I actually didn't go for the send down the inside because I knew he was going to turn in. As actually we're going to go side by side around the outside of the Ferrari, around the outside of the Frenchman. Now we have the inside line. We may have track position, but Pierre Gasly should have more track at the wider parts of this circuit to get the traction down. As now you can see he's ahead of us, and actually go for last minute switch on the inside, but we actually back out there because I think that I thought he would turn in on us, so I backed out. So we're just gonna have to live to fight for another day instead of taking damage. You can see here, this is where the dirty air is coming into play, or maybe this is just the AI's most overpowered corner. But either way, we're still losing quite a lot of time there, especially with dirty air. It's gonna make a lot of matters worse. And looking at our ERS, looking at our battery, we are at full battery now, so we should have used a bit more ERS when we could. Especially because we are right behind Gasly, so we can save a lot of ERS, and we could have used a lot of ERS as well. As now we're going to use our ERS to give us a bit more boost on the straight, and we're going to have DRS as well. We're going to have a lot of overspeed. We might go for the move down the inside of Pierre Gasly, but we ran out of route there, so we're just going to have to stay behind him for the time being. But we're gonna have to make a move anytime soon because we have 2 laps left in this race. As you can see here, I think we might have a chance on Pierre Gasly because now we have DRS. We have enough. The gap is small enough to go for a move down the inside. So actually we're gonna go down the inside of Pierre Gasly heading into turn 1. He goes a little bit wide. We might have touched him a bit there. I can't see from that camera angle, but we managed to go past the Ferrari, and now we can just focus on our own race and catch up to Valtteri Bottas as fast as possible, so that Pierre Gasly doesn't make a move on us anytime soon. As you can see here, we're still unable to catch up to Valtteri Bottas, even though he's in his own DRS train. But now heading into the final DRS, so we're gonna have to use all our ERS, power down the straight as much as possible. As now, as you can see, Lewis Hamilton has DRS. I don't think he will be able to make a move down the inside of Gasly because Gasly also has DRS. And I think he's side by side with me. I'm trying to go defend We're gonna go defensive down the inside, trying to break as late as possible. As now Pierre Gasly and I are still side by side, but who gets the better traction of the exit? Oh my goodness, I think Pierre Gasly is ahead. Oh man, come on, come on, come on. We still have DRS. Come on, come on. Can we get 6? Oh my goodness. Oh, we can't. Well, at least we get points, yeah?
That's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Ferme.
There'll be many smiles at the factory after that one. A great race and a real team performance to take the win here in Shanghai. Tell me, Ant, how do you think they were able to deliver such an incredible result today?
Well, I honestly feel it was down to the driver and car today. I mean, we can talk driver skill all day, but if you don't have a solid team to back that, you're never going to get anywhere. When you hit that sweet spot of having both an excellent driver and an incredible car, that's when you see results like those we witnessed today.
Red Bull are our winners today after showcasing some incredible driving. There's been a huge push from them lately to stay competitive with the other teams, and they're certainly proving themselves.
I think one thing I can take from this Grand Prix is that we have a lot of close battles here and there, so at least we have some sort of content in this video. Unfortunately, not a top 5 finish, but we have good battles here and there between Hamilton and Gasly, so I can't say no to that. So not a good points finish. We're P7, Carlos Sainz P9, so we are only going to get 6 plus 2, 8 points in total. So unfortunately, I think we're gonna go down in the Constructors' Championship. Yes, we are. So I think Ferrari and Mercedes are gonna be our main rivals here. And unfortunately, that's the end of today's video. I hope you will be stay tuned to the next videos in the future. And be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications in order not to miss those videos. And I'm the Fat Boy. See you in the next video, probably in a few days later. And goodbye.